Alrighty then. And we're back. Those are not the droids you're looking for. How's everybody doing? See the crews piling in. Good. So, really glad everybody's here, man. I was just looking, and it has been 2 weeks since we did the last live stream. It feels like it was just a few days ago. And look at this. I didn't plan this, but... Matt, you made it. Glad you're here, man. Yeah, man, I love doing these live streams. They're so much fun to talk with everybody directly and all that good stuff. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I know we've talked about it on some streams a while ago, but, I mean, just above you guys on my desk, out of view, let's just say there's memorabilia. Let's just put it that way. And I keep all the dignified grown-up stuff in the back. Like the guitars. Although I've got one beside me tonight. I was playing before you guys got on. So, I do want to bring up, man, so I updated OBS, which is the streaming program that I use, and like it always does, it just goes, hey, we see that you have some really detailed settings, blah, 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 and it just scrambles all my settings. And so last week or 2 weeks ago, I did the whole stream. It was using the microphone on my camera. I played that stream back literally 10 minutes before I started this one, and I'm like, holy crap, this sounds like I'm in a trash can. This sounds like garbage. Well, sure enough, it defaulted to that mic, so whoever was on the stream last time, yeah, that sucked. That was bad. So, sorry about that. But now I have the right mic and everything should sound better. Chris Ferguson, that is a correct statement. I have at least one lightsaber, at least. Yeah. They're works of art. That's good. I'm glad it's clear. Yeah, as a musician and audio guy, man, that's one thing I really don't like is bad audio. It's nails on a chalkboard is better. I really, really hate when audio's off. It's just scratchy and all that good stuff. So I've got a few things to talk about tonight. I don't have the same big list as I usually do because I'm hoping you guys will bring some stuff up and the conversation will just go where it goes. But, yeah. Be a little bit more of a chill stream. So, a couple things upcoming this week. I've already filmed everything. I just got to edit the videos, which takes hours. Put 120 rounds through the SA-35. Video to come there. So, yes, got a new extractor in there, and there will be some interesting news on that one. I'm doing a part 3 on the Colt because there's been more things happen. Yeah, I filmed a few other things too. So Matt says, I have a quick question. I bought 2 of the Wilson 316G kits. For when I decide to swap out the Duty B9 and Manta Ray. Yeah, there's crack. Crack has been crowned as moderator, along with DB. So, yeah, Matt, it looks like your message got chopped, other than the arrow. Or maybe I'm misreading it, because, you know, I'm going to quote Forrest Gump. I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. Yeah, so the 316, I'll tell you, man, the video that haunts me the most is my first Springs video where I gave a product number. And ever since then, that video has caused people to buy the wrong spring kits because they changed their naming conventions on their products. And now people are buying the spring kit that I recommended from 10 years ago, and it's a different thing now. So, Matt, watch my video that came out today. That will explain everything. Yeah. So, okay, Matt, you're asking about recoil springs between 45 and 9. So, the deal is, I don't give any tips on 9, 38 Super, 10 millimeter. I don't do any of that because I don't shoot those guns. And so I can tell you what Google says, but I don't have any real world experience with those, so I just don't feel good like recommending anything. But just so you guys know, there is a 9mm 1911 in the future. That's coming very soon. Very soon. Yeah, what Crack said, I mean, the 316G is fine. It's fine. My problem with it is not so much the 18.5-pound recoil spring. I can live with that. My problem is they dropped the mainspring to 19 pounds. It should be 23. But it's not the end of the world. They're going to work fine. It's just not optimal. And basically, it just... With the 18-pound spring or the 18.5-pound spring, do they work? Yeah. But think of recoil in 2 cycles, right? You have your rearward cycle where the slide's going back. Then you have the slide going forward. We all focus on how nice it is with an 18 when it's going backwards. We don't talk about when it's going forwards. And we think the heavier the spring, the better the feed. Not so. The timing of how that bullet turns and travels can be messed with depending on your gun, depending on the tolerances. You can also, if the bullets you're shooting are not really well done, you can cause the bullet to hit the feed ramp too hard and cause cartridge setback. I've had 2 comments today with people saying that's been their issue. So it is an issue. So for me, 16 pounds, just that's the end of the conversation for me. Like it's the right spring. Now I will say there's one great redeeming value of the 18s. in 2 years and 2,000 rounds, the 18 is still going to feel nice and snug. Whereas the 16 is going to feel a little bit more loosey-goosey. So, you know, I'm just giving you the information. You guys can make the choice that you want to make, but that's my mileage. I stick with the 16s. It's just, they just work the best all the way around. They're the most well-rounded spring. Yeah, that's awesome, Matt. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate every single one of you guys who watches, man. I genuinely thank you and appreciate it. It's wonderful. Yeah, Donald Hayes says, looking forward to, hold on. Sorry. I know adjusting this mic stand makes a lot of awful noise for you guys, so sorry. He said, looking forward to what 9 you get. That little Stingray I got has been sweet. Included mags were not good, however. They never are, unless they're Springfield. So, I'll be honest, the 9 that I'm thinking about getting, I really want to get one of those, the stakeouts with the 9 and 38 Super Barrel. It's a really good price. It's T-Sauce, so I know it's probably going to be pretty good. And I think it would just be a good gun to do the 9mm thing and this 38 Super thing. I feel like I would get a lot of content out of that. So that's kind of the way I'm leaning, but yeah, that's where I'm at. But I got to build up more funds because I've spent a lot lately on this channel, so. Yeah, Felonia says, I'm running a 23-18 on my 45. Yeah, that's not bad, man. Like I said, in a year, that spring's going to settle in a little bit. After you shoot it, it's going to, it's going to lose some poundage. It's going to settle in. And it'll be maybe closer to like a 16.5, 17.5, somewhere around there. So, again, it's not the end of the world. I stick with 16. I've just seen the best results over 15 years with that spring. I will say, though, I'm going to give a little bit away here on the Colt video coming up. The Colt frame's getting the snot beat out of it. It's not handling getting shot well at all. My T-Sauce has over 3,000 rounds through it. There is no frame peening at all. My Colt has legit peening on the frame. So, I'm probably going to have to up the recoil spring in that gun because it's literally beating the crap out of itself. I'm telling you, man, watch the video. There's a lot going on with that Colt, man. Crack said, I tried the 14-pound Wolf in my T-Sauce. It was too strong for 9mm. That's good to know. See, like, I've never studied this stuff, man. The 9 and all that. I've just never been into it. So, I'm going to have to look into it. Eric Gale, I change springs depending on what loads I'm shooting. I'm a reloader. Me too. So I make several loads for different uses. Yep, totally. Totally. Nicholas Walter, is the slide spring you use in your 1911s stronger or a little weaker than the T-Sauce spring? The reason I'm asking is I have a T-Sauce Tank Commander coming. So same thing. This is where, like, I use a 5-inch all-steel 45 ACP gun. You're talking about a 4 1/4-inch gun. So the spring is going to have to be a little bit on the heavier side. I can't tell you the number off the top of my head because I'm not a Commander guy, so I don't know. But I think you're onto the right track. Go with a Wilson spring. Absolutely. Donald, PSA has the best price on those. Absolutely. I was going to buy one the other day, but like I said, man, I have spent a lot on this YouTube channel recently, so I've got to, we got to take a little spending break unless there's, unless more comes in. So, AZ82, hello from Washington State. What's going on, man? Yep, Matt, 16 pound. John, it's time to party. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. Matt Dropco, that Chrome Stakeout dual caliber one, some other folks have done vids on it. One video maker said the finish machining wasn't what he expected. Yeah, so if I get that gun, I'm not really going to be reviewing like how nice is this gun from TSOS. I would focus on how is a 9mm 1911, and then how is a 38 Super. Like I would be going for like the mechanical side, not really a product review and how pretty it is. I'm sure I would comment on it, but yeah, that's probably the direction I would go. DB, yeah, the frame, where the guide rod smacks into the frame and the slide kind of mashes the guide rod into the frame, that area there is peening. Yep. Crack. Perhaps a shock buffer. Yeah, no. I thought about it. I'm not going to lie. I thought, but then here's the thing. The reason I don't like shock buffers for two reasons. One is they mess with how far back your slide can go. That's the simplest way to say it. And you're creating potential, or there's just a lot of issues associated with that. The other problem is, and I'll actually pull up the picture. I don't know if I've shown this to you guys in a good while. So that is me testing out a shock buff, and in one day a brand new shock buff fell apart, jammed my gun up for 2 hours. It took me 2 hours to get that shock buff out of there, and it was a nightmare. And so imagine you're defending your life and that happens. The gun is rendered inoperable. And I would add that happened at like 150 rounds, I think. So like not a huge round count. And the only way I could get it out was with like, what was it? What's the word I'm looking for? The metal grabby thing on your bench. A vise, good Lord. So yeah, I had to put it in my granddad's vise and beat the slide back and forth with a rubber mallet, and finally got it free. No bueno. John, I had some failure to go into battery when running my 17 pound on my TSOS, added a Wilson Combat 18.5, and it works. That's great, but here's my problem with that. You're forcing reliability. To me, you have an underlying issue. If you see, here's the thing. These guns, if you take the recoil spring out completely, and you should try this, take the recoil spring out completely and just feed rounds with no recoil spring. Those rounds should feed buttery smooth up into the chamber. You shouldn't have to force rounds into the chamber, right? So if you're having to force rounds into the chamber, you have another problem. And that's why, again, I don't like that methodology. I understand that it feels like it fixed a problem, but I'm not so sure. Yeah, that Autistic Outlaw, that regulator is good looking. Sparky, yeah, I get it, dude. 9mm 1911. What I don't do with this, Excuse me. What I don't do with this channel is just do videos that people ask for. Like, I have to be interested in it, or else I'm just a monkey on a stick. Like, I don't want to become that channel where it's like purely like crowd service, right? If I'm not interested in it, I'm not going to have any passion to like spend my money, my time shooting, editing, doing all this stuff that I do. I have to be interested in it. And so there's a lot of things people ask for that I just don't really care about. As much as I know it would get me views, I would rather do something that I enjoy that gets me views. I don't know if you guys agree, but I just feel like that enthusiasm and interest is going to come across. You guys are going to see that I care about what I'm talking about. DB, I've seen the stakeout vids with coding issues. Yours is mint, 0 issues. That's great. I really want one, man. Todd B, once you go 9mm in 1911, you never go back. I'm not so sure that's going to be true for me. I've shot them. I've shot 9mm 1911s, and I get it. They're really low recoil. But I don't shoot the 1911 because of the recoil. I shoot it because I want big bullets. So it's not because it feels nice. That's not really why I carry it. If it was purely about comfort and shooting experience, maybe I'd be one of these, staccato people. Ugh. Need to wash that down. Chris Chiampo, what about that oversized bushing on the Colt they did using a bushing from a bull barrel? I don't know about that. No idea. Just got a Star Model B with some rust on it. Used a copper penny and some oil. Scrubbed the rust. Most of it came off. Gun looks way better. That's great. Ajax Lee 4. Yeah, those stars are pretty cool, man. My brother-in-law had one of those years ago in 40, I think. And, it's kind of a weird-looking gun. You kind of look at it and go, but it was a solid steel gun with a pretty good trigger, and I was like, that's actually a stout little heater, man. Ooh, I'm way behind. Let's see. Fish Guts. That's a great name. My first time on your live stream. Love your videos. Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here. Really appreciate you guys watching, man. I gotta say, there's been a lot of drama in my comments lately. Some of it's frankly pissed me right off. I'd love to be one of these guys who says, I don't care about nobody. I'm immune and I don't have emotions. Yeah, anybody who says that, I don't believe them. Nobody's that dead inside. But, there's been a lot of people that, man, are just like, the trolls are coming out of the woodwork. And I focus on comments like that. The people who get what I'm doing and appreciate what I'm doing, I'm trying to focus on that. And everybody else, I just do my best to ignore. Some people are just miserable, man. They're just miserable. They just want other people to be miserable with them. It's really sad. I think it's a lot more fun to be around people who are like, not just super positive. I don't like doofy optimism where it's like everything has to be happy all the time. That's really annoying. But, I don't like tearing people down, man. I don't like it. And I don't like when they do it sort of on my lawn and on my YouTube channel. I don't like when they do it to me or you guys. And, yeah, that's not the culture I'm building here. Felonious, try a 19-pound mainspring and a 12 or 14 recoil on the government. Yeah. We shall see. Felonious, yeah, man. The shock buffs, they're just... No, I can't do it. Yeah, Matt. Pretty much, Matt is just my Patreon folks. I love these guys, and he's one of my favorites too. He says, I'm a 45 guy in 1911. Wouldn't mind having a 9. Had them before, but I'm a traditionalist, and that's exactly right. And I've never shot a 9mm 1911, and then went to the 45 and was like, oh no, the recoil. Like, I enjoy shooting the 1911. It's nice. It's a handgun. It's not hard. But I get it. Like, the 9 is very nice to shoot. I totally get it. Yeah, DB, that's exactly right. When you've got a half dozen in 45, something different is nice. That's kind of where I'm at. Is like, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't want to buy another 1911. I know that's probably really surprising and maybe unpopular, but I don't know. Do I need another one just with different roll marks? It's cool, but I've got limited space, limited money. Like, I'm just a guy. And so I'd rather do something interesting and different and all that. So. Yeah, Crack said I should put a link to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, all that. Yeah, yeah, I should. You're right. I should. I mean, because that is the problem. If somebody gives super chats here, YouTube takes 50% of it. So if you give $1, I get 50 cents. So they're pretty brutal about that. Like, there's been people who've given $50, and I appreciate it, and I don't want to make them feel bad by telling them, like, I got $25. Not that that's nothing. I'm super grateful, but I feel more bad for them because they just paid YouTube $25. Like, that sucks. Point 4. What do I think of the Colt Gold Cup? From what era? If it's from right now, you are playing Colt Roulette. You might get a halfway good one. You're very likely to have a bad experience. DB, you could play guitar and target shoot at the same time. I couldn't. I'm not. I'm not that good at either of those. I can play guitar pretty good when I got both hands dedicated, but that would be tough. No, I could probably like do some sort of like hammer-on tapping thing with my left hand and shoot. Yeah, I might be able to do it. I'm not going to do it, though. Let's see here. Let me get caught up. Yeah, sometimes the chat automatically scrolls to the bottom, and then I have to go back up and like figure out where I was. Matt Hickam, big bore. That's right. That's how I like my guns, man. Big bore. They're just more interesting. Yeah, fat guns are not comfy. That's true. But the 1911's not fat. Ragnall Mac, I'm not going to try to pronounce the rest of that name, picked up a Mark III Browning high power. Excellent. No need for a 9mm 1911. And see, that's how I feel. Like, that's why I haven't got one to this point, because I'm like, okay, you want a 9mm 1911, get a high power. It's designed for that bullet. DB, yeah, well said, man. If you drive a Porsche daily, maybe a Lexus ain't bad, for sure. For sure. Although I'm not sure I own a single gun that would qualify as a Porsche. I've got a bunch of Toyota Corollas. Yeah, DB, start blocking the idiots. I do. You know, there's people who like. Let's talk about that for a minute. There's people who bring up like this First Amendment philosophical argument when I block people, but it's like, I didn't take away their First Amendment. They can talk. I don't have to listen. And that's really what I'm doing, is I'm making it to where you guys and me don't have to hear what those douchebags are saying. They can still say it, but I'm not listening. And the way I think of this YouTube channel is, this is like my house, and you guys are my friends, and I'm inviting you in, and we're all hanging out. And if some jerk came up to the front door and was spouting his mouth off, I would slam the door in his face. Like, because it wouldn't be caring about everyone else there to let him in out of some philosophical idea that I have to let him talk so I'm a good American. F that. No. Like, no. I don't have to listen to those guys. I really don't like it, man. I don't like when people... And it's not just people... Like, one guy was trying to criticize me today and say that I just don't like when people disagree. It's like, dude, go read my comments. People say things all the time, and I'm like, hey, agree to disagree, right? Like, I love dissent. I don't mind dissent and debate, and when people say, like, no, man, I think you're wrong here, and here's why, I totally welcome that. It's when they go, well, some kind of moron you are, or something like that. When they do that, I'm like, okay, gloves are off. You know, you brought the attitude, you're going to get some. So... let's go. Yeah, the new Kimber, I think that's what you're talking about, Donald. What do they call it? I can't remember what the Kimber calls their new 1911. I saw the external extractor and went, nope, just automatically 0% interested. Jolly Roger's here. Now we can start. Welcome, man. Yeah, man, I used to own higher-end 1911s. They're just not interesting to me. I'm being honest. I'm not criticizing anybody who has them. If you got them and you love them, good. I want you to be happy. But they're just not interesting to me. I'm weird. Heck yeah, John's rebuilding a single-action army. Now we're talking. Sam Adams, 45 is just like 9mm, except it's for men. Yeah, that's right. I like it. Come on. Sorry, these stupid ads on the background music. I know there's some people who are like, just turn off the music. No, do you just want to hear me breathe in between while I'm reading? No, thank you. That's weird. Skipping ahead. I'm going to skip past the comments where you guys are just talking to each other. Sam Adams, does YouTube demonetize videos or demonize videos? Same thing. Where you show things like how to blue a pistol? No. So, since we're on the subject, YouTube doesn't like certain words. And I know that we get the philosophical thing that we should be able to just say terrible things all the time. I agree. That doesn't mean I want to. It's not really, doesn't really serve me or anyone else to say terrible things all the time. But I absolutely believe we should be able to say whatever we want with no consequence. So, you know, YouTube does, they just don't like you to talk about certain things. And they don't want you to do certain things. And look, I can fight and complain all I want. And I can burn my channel to the ground out of protest, and what good did I do? This is going to be very unpopular, what I'm going to say, but I try to honor their rules because just like they've given me this YouTube channel, and I consider it my house, YouTube is their house, and I want to honor their rules because they're helping me do something I enjoy, and I'm making money for it so that I can pour it back into the channel. Like, this is a wonderful thing. I know we all despise their politics and all those things, but I can yell at the sky about how much I hate it all day long, and guess what? It changes. Jack. Nothing. So, Sam Adams, I love disagreeing and I love being wrong. Absolutely. You know, anytime somebody says like, "Hey man, I actually think you," and the comments are up. If you guys wanted to dig through 6,400 comments, you are welcome to, but they're there on a lot of videos where people say, "Hey man, I actually think you're wrong. Here's the right answer." And I'll be like, "You know what? Thank you, man. That's great." Like, I would rather be like, I would rather be correct than appear as if I know everything. Because guys, I don't know most things. To quote Alex Jones on that one Joe Rogan episode, I'm kind of retarded. So, yeah, absolutely. Just be humble, man. Like, nobody's right about everything. And at a certain point, like, we can go back and forth and kind of say, yeah, but what about this? And discuss our ideas, but then you just kind of go, all right, well, you just like something different, and you're allowed to, and we can still be friends. That's hard to do anymore. Yeah. Gabriel says a dreadnought is like a guitar, but for normal-sized men. Yeah, I've got a couple of them right there. I love dreads. I got a D18 and a D28. Love dreads. Yeah, Jolly Roger. I was once seriously considering a Springfield TRP, but $1,500 to $1,600 for MIM parts. Yeah. $2,200 for Dan Wesson is another story. Yeah, man. Like, I mean, I had a couple TRPs, and I'm going to tell you right now, they're excellent. They're excellent guns. However, that was one of those nicer guns, the higher end guns, that just wasn't interesting to me, and I let it go. I just kind of got bored, and also I just started to like feel self-conscious about the tactical banner on the side of it. It just felt really douchey. Donald Hay, I inherited my dad's Raptor 2. It's been awesome. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Those are solid. Those are good looking pistols. That's one of the things, one of the more unique things Kimber has done is that sort of snake skin look on the serrations. Those are beautiful. Dean Zoyle, 1911s are addictive. Have 7 now. Yeah, man. I mean, look, like I said, if I had infinite room and money, I would have. Here's what I would like to do. This is the kind of guy I am. I'm a pair and a spare guy. The TSOS historical, I would like to just have a rack of 10 of those, just set up the way I like them, and just to have 10 of them. Like that, to me, that would make my big toe curl. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I would like to have a rack of the same pistol. That would make me happy on the inside. Yeah, Crack, he said exactly, if there's something you feel compelled to make on a vid that YouTube won't like, there's always alt platforms. It's true. I haven't come to that point yet. I'll be honest, man. All my ideas, I haven't felt super restricted, honestly. You know, I feel like the way things are going right now, it's pretty good. So, yeah. But it's true. I mean, and I would do that. The problem is, like, the alternate platforms, man, there's just nobody there. And I would love to think people would, like 100% of my followers would go to like a Rumble. They won't. Here's how I know. Look at Hickok 45. He's got what, like freaking 4 million followers or something. Probably way more than that. He has 30,000 subscribers on Rumble. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. Maybe it will be one day, but right now there's just it's a ghost town. Chris Ferguson, if nobody ever told you you're wrong, you'd never learn a thing. That's absolutely true. I would take that a step further. If you're never willing to ponder the thought that you might be wrong, you'll never learn a thing. Sparky, if you're tired of 1911s, I'd recommend a Smith & Wesson 686. Funny you should say that. So, I recently bought that Winchester 1892. Guess what was competing for it? A 686. I was literally about to buy that pistol. Had it in the cart and everything. I was really interested, but I just thought, I already have a pile of revolvers, mostly black powder. I'm not going to carry the gun. I'm not going to use it for home defense. I just felt like the lever gun was a little bit... there was a little bit more of a hole in my collection for that. But I am super into those, for sure. Felonious, I thought I was wrong once, but turned out I was wrong. I was actually right. That's... I like your style. Sam Adams, best position I've heard on being in YouTube house and honoring their rules. Yeah, man, I know we're all sort of conditioned that we're supposed to just like hate YouTube and all this stuff. I don't. And I'm sure I disagree with their entire staff, and I disagree with their speech policies and all this stuff. I disagree that I can't pick up that 1911 right there and show it to you guys on a live stream, but I can record it, edit it, and put it up on a video. Totally fine. Makes no sense. But it brought us all together. Here we are. And we get to have a good time together. So I can't, how do I say this? This is how I behave with people. You don't get people on your terms. You can't have everybody your way. And there's certain generations, we won't talk about who just can't stomach the thought that somebody thinks differently than them. As soon as they find one thing where you don't say the words that they want in your mouth, they're like, you're a bad person, and they're like, I'm done with you. That's a terrible way to live, man. There's literally nobody on this planet that I agree with 100%. You don't get people on your terms. People are how they are. And we're all freaking broken. We all don't know everything. And I get it. There's some people where you're just not compatible. You don't have to be friends with everybody. You don't have to like everybody. But in the same breath, it's just like people aren't perfect and you have to accept them. It's the same with YouTube. It's just life. Life's not perfect. So that's how I think of it. Gratitude goes a lot further. John, I need a local Guns and Coffee. Not sure how to start it, but it would be cool. Yeah, man. Me and a buddy of mine had an idea. It was mainly his idea, and then I sort of like got excited with him and shared a lot of ideas. We wanted to open not necessarily a gun store, but like a gun hangout, and call it Founders, and have like an outline of like a dude with a musket from, the Revolutionary War, and call it Founders. And it was just a place where you could show up, buy a cup of coffee, maybe buy some ammo, whatever, but it was mostly a place to hang out. And I just, never came to fruition because we didn't have, like $500,000. So there's that. Yeah, Matt, same with me on the TRP gaudy markings. Absolutely. If they would, here's the thing. This is why I like Les Baer so much. Because Les Baer, if you guys didn't know, he's like responsible for 1911s with Springfield. Like he helped set up their custom shop, which then downstream influenced their loadeds, their TRPs, all those guns. And but Springfield commercialized things a little bit too much and made everything too flash. And what I love about Les Baer is how understated and tasteful his guns are. Like, if I'll tell you right now, that's the only pistol in the custom category that I would absolutely purchase, and still may. A Les Baer. In fact, let's just look at them. Let's take a little peek here. I'm going to pull up one that I would actually buy. So I'm going to have to screenshot this because I can't show the whole website. Maybe I can. Hold on. There we go. That's a solid heater right there. Tasteful. You know, I'd probably get rid of that right side safety nonsense. I'd nix that. And I'm sure it has a full-length guide rod. I would get rid of that immediately. And maybe some new grips, then call it good. It's a good-looking gun, man. Simple, tasteful, beautiful, right? Love it. All right, let me get caught up here. Sam Adams, I bet a lot of people would enjoy seeing a 1911 put together complete. Yeah, that's something else. Now, that takes a lot of planning. But I'm thinking about building, like, a completely custom pistol. Like, buying each individual part and hand-fitting it all together. But that would take me, like, 2 months to do. And it would be expensive. Again, I've got to build up the funds, so... Yeah, DB and Crack, my mods, are talking about Rumble. I do have a Rumble channel. I really only use it right now. So if you guys are Patreon members, I make technical videos and they go on Patreon, but Patreon won't let you upload directly. So I upload them to Rumble and then give a link to Rumble on Patreon. So I do have a Rumble. But I'll be honest, I just don't have the time to pour into Rumble like that. I have to be really selective with my time and what I do. And I can't sacrifice the main engine of this channel, which is what I'm doing here, to go do all this tertiary stuff that's not going to really pay off. So, but I'm working on building a team of people to help me out. And so more to come on that. For sure. All right, let me get caught up here. Dean's Oil, does cold blue dunk hold up? I'll be honest, man, it's fine if you're gonna just like take it out and shoot the gun every once in a while. But if you're talking about like concealed carry, no, it's going to. It's not going to last at all. Yeah, DB, purple-haired people. John, there's the comment of the night. The only one I agree with 100% on is Jesus. Absolutely. Absolutely. Florida is open carry now, DB says. The whole state is firearm hangout. That's right. It is the gunshine state, my friends. It is a good place to be. I'm actually going to go for a hike here pretty soon with a buddy of mine, and we've already planned we're gonna be packing in the open. So on that note, I'm not an open carry guy, like personally, but I think it's a great idea if there's more than one of you. If you got buddies with you, great. If you're alone, I think it's a risk. Felonious, are all the Florida Leos following the new open carry law? I haven't heard that they aren't. I'm sure it went far and wide, and they let everybody know, hey, this is normal now. You got to calm down, and so hopefully it'll cause the police to not freak out when they see a citizen with a gun. They need to get used to it. That's how it should be. So let me just make a little... I wasn't planning on doing this, but I just feel like it would be a good time to do it. I'm actually planning on making some videos. Now, I want to say right up front, because people are going to feel like, oh no, you're starting to go this direction. No, calm down. I want to start making videos in addition to what I already do. It's not going to take the place of the gun videos that I currently do. But I'm thinking like once or twice a month, putting up American philosophy videos. And just talking about like, this is what an American is. This is your rights given to you by God. This is something I'm really passionate about, that people think they're supporting law enforcement by obeying unconstitutional laws, and they're not. That's not what good Americans do. Good Americans stand up for the Constitution. Now, we're a country of laws. We are law-abiding citizens. But laws that are repugnant to the Constitution are not laws that should be obeyed, and they should be at the minimum. I'm not saying you should go and break laws. At a minimum, what you should do is be very vocal and make noise and literally put your time and money behind changing unconstitutional laws, however little way you can. Yeah, so that's something I'm thinking about doing. We'll see. JNF, gun laws have gone to crap in my country. Only a matter of time before we become the Southeast Asian Canada. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I hate it. I hate gun laws. I hate them with a passion. I despise them. Like my ears are going to turn red. I hate them. Few things make me as furious as gun laws. They're just wrong. They're objectively, morally, functionally wrong. I hate them. Donald Hay, or you can dive deeper down the rabbit hole and check out Alchemy. Alchemy's not really my thing, man. Not really a big fan of that. I mean, they make a couple that I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool, but there's something off about the visuals of their guns, and I finally figured out what it is. They're buying frames and slides from Armscore, I think. In Armscore, the guns are just off visually for me. So, yeah, Ed Brown and Nighthawk are pretty high up there, for sure. DB, I would not open carry myself, makes you a target. That's exactly right. I would not open carry by myself because basically I'm just going to be standing with my back to the wall the whole time. I would be too switched on. Too switched on. But if I was with a group of guys, absolutely. Yeah. Also, DB, ever thought about a group chat live? Yes, that's something we're going to be doing. So, some of my Patreons are going to be a part of that, because what I want to turn these live streams into is less of a me show, like where you just got to sit here and look at my gorilla mask the whole time. I would rather have a conversation with some guys in the room and then read comments. So, a couple of my Patreons, Crack, Matt, have already agreed to be on there. DB, we can definitely talk as well. I would like it to be more of a group of dudes. So, Donald, hey, a Discord server would be cool for group chat live. Yeah, in the future, when it gets there's just some stuff I'm gonna need people that I trust and that are really understand who I am and the direction and the character I want for this channel. that are going to bring those skills to help me. That's really what I need is that. But again, I've got to get to know people and all that. So yeah, Felonious, we need jury nullification. Absolutely. Absolutely. Crack. That's funny. Ian Barker, South Carolina company, sir. Weapon here is as common as a glass of air. That's great. It's the way it should be. So, in my church, we're talking about right now, because let's just say I'm in leadership in my church, and I was talking with our usher team today, and, somebody asks, like, what are we doing about this open carry thing? And I'm like, well, we got to figure it out because, we don't want to scare people off who are not used to this yet. But on the other hand, we got to rip the Band-Aid off at some point and get people in Florida used to seeing citizens that are armed. It should be commonplace. It should be like seeing people with a cell phone. Yeah. I'm all about it. And I'll tell you, man, you will see crime evaporate when a bunch of citizens are open carrying. You will see a polite society come back. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. So, now that I caught up to the chat, let's talk about some other stuff. How about some lights? Anybody like lights? I like flashlights. Robert Cook, yes, I am in the Gunshine State. I'm in Florida. Matt, we already have constitutional carry. Yeah, I don't even have a concealed carry anymore. I just carry a gun like a man should. It's the way it should be. Yeah, Florida, man, we are just passing banger after banger after banger law. I love our legislature, our Supreme Court, our governor. It's a good time to be in Florida. This state is thoroughly red. It's fantastic. I mean, we've got some holdout counties that are freaking scumbag counties, but, give it time. Yes, so lights. I only brought a couple. I should have brought more now that I'm here. So I'm a big fan of Streamlight. Now, this is sort of like, there's these elitists who, anytime you start talking about Streamlight, they put on their chaps and start barking about freaking, Surefire? I only use Surefire. Because when I need a light in my living room, I need something fit for Navy SEALs. God. Oh, man. When people start making those arguments I only trust my life to the best while I'm in my boxer shorts, I'm just get over yourself, dude. Anyway, so I do have some Surefires. So this is a GWatt era. I don't even remember what this is, 1957 or something. There's my Surefire. It's IR capable and all that tactical crap. So TLR1HL. I have owned many TLR1s. I wish I still had my first one because it's still running on the guys. I sold this guy a rifle and it had my first TLR on it. He's still using it. Anyway, TLR1HL. Love this light. This one has been a faithful companion. Now, when I was in the fire service, I bought a Streamlight. It was a yellow. I can't remember the model number. Anyway, it was kind of a bigger, goofy light, but we would mount those on our helmets. And that light took so much abuse through fire school and into the beginning of my short career in the fire service. I mean, I can't tell you all the crap that happened to that light. It just got beat up a lot. But eventually, I gave it to a new guy, and I actually put a Picatinny mount on my helmet and put a freaking TLR1 on there. Used it for years. I've mounted these on shotguns, on ARs. Now I really only use them for pistols, but love those. This one is kind of a sleeper. I feel like not a lot of people know about these, but this is the Sidewinder. And this is like a fantastic little utility light. So, I don't know if you guys know what a vampire is, but a vampire light is basically where if you put a battery in that light, it's just going to continually drain that battery slowly. Like, I know batteries die slowly anyway, but there are some products like Enforce lights. They are vampires because they have digital switches. So that digital switch is drawing just a little bit of current all the time. And so eventually it's going to drain down those batteries. This light, whoa, I dropped it. Stand by. So this light, the Sidewinder, it's great because it's got this little clip on it, right? So you can clip it on your shirt, on your hat, whatever. You push the button once and you get your light. You hold it and it scales up the brightness to pretty good brightness. But then you can take the cap, pull it up and twist it. Oh, get it in frame there. So you got white light, you pull that cap and twist it. You got red, you got IR, and you got blue. This light is awesome. I have changed this battery maybe 3 or 4 times in like over 10 years. Awesome light. Awesome little utility light. It's very small, very lightweight. I love this light. So, and Streamlight product. So before I talk about the last light, I've got to catch up on chat here. Yep. Yep. Awesome. So it did pass the drop test. So my daily carry light is in my truck. I don't have it with me, but it is the Streamlight HL ProTac, I think ProTac HL. Really great little light, very basic, and they're like $50. They take 2, and this is what I love about them. They can either take 2 1-2-3 batteries or a AA, which is really cool. You can use either battery, and it like the batteries, the female side or the male side is spring loaded. So if it's 2 CR123s, you mash them in there. If it's AA, that spring comes up and it fits and it works. So you don't have to have that sort of, because you can't just go buy like 1-2-3s at a gas station a lot of times. If you need it, you can literally like find AA's everywhere. So that light's great. But I want to talk about an ancient light. This is a very old light, and I have 2 of them. Real quick, let me crack another drink open because my throat is drying out. Appreciate you guys being here, man. Anybody else drink Spindrift? I'm a Spindrift guy. All right. So, check it out. The Streamlight Polytac. So this is a direct competitor to the old school Surefire G2s. Except these were like $28. Polymer light, nothing special. You got a basic pressure switch, right? And back in the day, they were like 180 lumens. There was like freaking nothing to them, man. But I bought two of these, and I used to mount one on my Mossberg 500. I've had these. I currently have my second one. It's identical, mounted on my one of my AR uppers. And so what I did though is I went on Amazon and found 1,000 lumen LED bulb that works for these. Dropped it right in. Now I got 1,000 lumen light in this plastic light. These lights are so tough, man. I have had this light for more than 15 years. It's got to be. They have just gone through absolute freaking hell. Like being mounted on shotguns. I dropped this one in a pond once and lost it for a day. Found it the next day. I mean, you name it, man. I have just used these lights like crazy. And they're still here. The switches still work. Like, it's nuts. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. People are, I've got buddies that are like, man, why don't you get a new light? I'm like, because it still works. And it's 1,000 lumens. It's great. Maglite. So, funny story about Maglite. My dad used to be a cop, and he's got stories about his freaking, 16-cell D-cell Maglite. Just, the thing's basically like a Gandalf cane, but it's a Maglite. It's long, dude. And that was his freaking nightstick, man, and he used it. Yeah. Yeah, so, BB. Spindrift, it's basically... There's nothing in it except for, quite literally, juice, natural, just squeezed juice, salt, water, and it's just slightly carbonated. They're fantastic. They're awesome. Dean's Oil, no lights, use tritium night sights. They can aim at night. I'm going to disagree there, brother. You got to see what you're shooting at. So I heard a really tragic story about that, where this is why you need a light. If it's not on your gun, you need to have a light with your gun. There was this guy who was at home. His wife, he thought, was working, and all of a sudden he's hearing this banging on his door, and the handle's like jiggling really hard. He goes and grabs his pistol. Finally, the door flies open. He shoots the figure in the doorway. He didn't have a light. Turns out it was his wife came home early from work, and she was choking on food, and he killed her. Use a light. Use a light. Donald, anyone use a spotlight on their truck? No, but it's not a bad move, man. There's no such thing as too much light. Yes, crack is correct. Life is not a Navy SEAL gunfight. That is correct. Yeah, I always have a light. Always have a light. Like, I'll just tell you guys, I have my carry, or like my home defense pistol right there. If I go to the bathroom, I'm bringing 3 things with me. My pistol, a light, and my phone. If I go sit on the couch, pistol, light, phone. If I go sit on the front porch with my wife, pistol, light, phone. The reason is, it's night. I don't know if you guys noticed, the sun went down. If the power goes out right now, what, am I going to walk around? Am I going to be that guy who's like, brr, my little phone light? No. No, I need to get to my family, right? And I need to be able to see if there's a threat. Light. Let's say it's light outside, and I go inside and the lights are off. My eyes haven't adjusted. Light. Let's say I'm inside, it's dark inside, there's somebody outside and the sun's behind them. I can't see them. They've silhouetted themselves, but I actually can't see them because the light behind them is too bright. Light. You need a light all the time, like 100% of the time. Donald, is it low in sugar for us with diabetes? Yes. So it is 5 calories. There's a total of 1 sugar. And here's the ingredients: carbonated water, raspberry puree, and lime juice. I'm telling you, I'm such a Spindrift fan, man. They're excellent. 5 calories a can. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. They would never sponsor me. Oh man, Chris Cox. all those carbonated waters taste like TV static sounds. That's funnier than balls right there, man. And another banger from Chris Cox there. Night sights are only good to help you find your gun in the dark. Correct. That is why I have, if I've ever had night sights on my pistol, it's so when I open my eyes at night, I can see where my pistol is and grab it. And I'm going to tell you guys another secret. You want to know why blue has white grips? Guess what you can see really well in the dark? White. It actually started out as a functional choice. Just, there you go. Mike, the FZ07 guy, never leave home without a flashlight. Can't take a knife on a plane, but an EDC flashlight is okay. Absolutely. And I use mine, my carry light. It's got like little sharp, not spikes, but edges on the bezel. And so, yes, like, I do the same thing. Like if I go into certain buildings where it's prohibited to carry even a knife, which for work, sometimes I have to do that. Light. Yeah. Yeah, lights are important, man. Now, what's funny is, like on my home defense rifle, it's basically just an AR-15 with iron sights, and it has an Enforce light on it, and that's it. But you got to have a light, absolutely. Especially like, here in Florida we have hurricane season, and it's pretty regular. When you have even a tropical storm blow through, you can lose power for a week. So, it's really important. So I'll tell you guys, I didn't bring it in here because it's inside, but I'm a Milwaukee guy. I like Milwaukee tools. I'm just, mostly because it's right. But I'm a Milwaukee guy. And the Milwaukee, like, flashlight that uses the giant, M44 batteries or whatever, that light is an LED light. And it's big, don't get me wrong, it's kind of chunky. But that light will stay on for 12 hours straight. And that's the furthest I've tested it. Maybe it goes further. But for hurricanes, like when we're at night, we're with the kids, we're maybe reading or we're eating dinner, I'll just grab that light, and it's got a little hinged neck. I'll point it at the ceiling, turn it on, lights up the whole room. I use it for working on the vehicle. My kids play with it. That light lasts forever. Like the big giant battery on there, man, it's fantastic. You can't exactly like, use it with a pistol, and maybe you could, I don't know. But for a utility light, I love that one. Donald, I remember when you could carry a pocket knife on a plane. I think that's what you meant. Um, yeah, I remember growing up, and I remember we flew to Jamaica for a vacation when I was a kid, and my dad was packing a freaking Sig 226. Now, granted, he was a cop, so I know that had something to do with it, but like, that was pre 9/11. Oh, but that's what I was gonna say is, man, during the hurricanes, um, you know, I re- like so after the storm comes and goes, like for days after, you can have still like crazy wind and everything. And I remember one of the more recent storms. It's not uncommon where you get stuff damaged, stuff flies around, falls over, your neighbor's freaking chunk of their fence flies across the street. How can you tell the difference between somebody trying to break into your garage because they heard you had a generator and a piece of fence hitting your garage? I can't tell the difference. And when that happens at 3 in the morning, you need a light. And so, yeah, man, all about it. Yeah, the raccoon knocks over the garbage can. Yep. Yeah, we've got a freaking honker of a raccoon lurking around our house quite often. And they're looking for our chickens. We have chickens. And this is the one opportunity where I wish I had a suppressor, so I could just whack him and go throw him in the lake, turn him into gator food. Yeah, so let me see here. I have something else to show you guys. So we're finally getting some good weather here in Florida. Today it wasn't absolutely miserable. I was still soaked in sweat trying to stain my fence. But not the worst thing in the world. But I'm really looking forward to next week. It's going to be proper black powder weather. Really looking forward to that. Yeah, the fence noise will stop, the intruder won't. Yeah. True. True. Trying to see if I have anything I can show you guys here from my recording yesterday. Let's see. New. So here's a little bit of advance info. This is raw footage, so Donald, get a paint sprayer. It's a lifesaver. Yeah. So I have one, and the stain we're using, we got a really good deal on it because it's like mega expired, and it had sat for so long that a lot of the color in the pigment set in the bottom and created like a plastic sheet, and then when I stirred it, it made debris and it clogged my sprayer twice, and I got pissed and I said I'm going to do the whole thing with a freaking brush. I know I can strain it. I'm already halfway done, so I'm just gonna suffer through. Believe me, like 4 of my neighbors are like, "You should get a sprayer." I'm like, "Dude, I know. I had one. This freaking stain is just a mess." Yeah, Ian. I love guitar, for sure. So check it out. I'm gonna pause the music real quick. So the SA35 is working. It's great. It's working really good. So yeah, I put I think I only put like 120 rounds through it yesterday, but yeah, went awesome. Now I'm gonna save some of the stuff. It didn't go perfect. Some other things did happen, but yeah. Yeah, Ian Barker said, I've been playing guitar since '93. Always great to see another guitar player. Yeah, I've been playing, I don't know the year, but I started playing at 10 years old. And I'm 37 now, so 27 years. I started out playing mostly metal and classical. Had a band. Won't talk about that. But got pretty successful. And then, I went through many changes with the guitar. I didn't play the guitar for like 5 years for a while, just because I got bored. And then I got into blues, and I went through an embouchure change, you could say, where I basically completely changed how I hold the pick, how I hold the neck. My guitars changed. I sold everything, and kind of went a different way. And I still play metal. Like that's how I have my guitar set up now. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but so it's set up for like, making a lot of noise. But so like that's my PRS 594, and it's really not a metal guitar, but here at home it's fine. So anyway, I've got it in drop D right now. I've been like absolutely beating the brakes off of Tool lately. I love Tool and learning their stuff. So anyway, yeah, I force myself to play every day, Ian. I'm not going to let it die. One of the most heartbreaking things that I saw happen was my uncle was an amazing guitarist. And he got married, had kids, and then just kind of treated it like, oh, that's something kids do. And now he doesn't play anymore. I'm not going to let that happen to me. Shenanigan Long Colt. If you say that fast enough, that sounds like another language. Last time I followed a YouTube channel this regularly was back in the early days with Tough Thumbs and Nut and Fancy. I love Nut and Fancy, man. Love Nut and Fancy. Like, a lot of people in his early days, and this is when really, like, that was like peak tactical cool guy, Magpul, dynamic handgun, shoot me pants guys, everybody's wearing khakis and their freaking glasses. And, I was one of them. And Nut and Fancy was just like, no, man, this is what I like. And I'm going to talk about freaking pocket knives. And I loved it. And all the people who crapped on him back in the day, now that they're older and wiser, are like, Nut and Fancy's legit. He's great. Nicholas Walter, what amp? So, I'm about to say some blasphemous crap right here. 511 pants. That's it, DB. Basically, I've been a tube amp guy my whole life. But I sold them all. And now I have the Line 6 Helix. I forgot what it was. And it's the real big one. It's like, I couldn't even fit it on the screen to show you. It's real big. I've got that, and then I've got their cab. And it's just great, man. Um, is that like super loud? Here. So there you go. Yeah, like I literally sold my tube amps because it was like I put that up against my old tube amps. I'm like, it sounds just as good. Like it's missing like 3%, but it's like um, it's really solid. No stairway, absolutely not. So on the gun front, because I know a lot of you guys don't care about that stuff. Sorry, me and Ian were having a moment. um, so yeah, like I said, I also have a Colt video coming out. In fact, let me show you guys some of those pictures. The Patreons know what's up here. I've been sharing with them my struggles. Yeah, the volume should be back up, DB. Let me know if it's suddenly quiet. I pumped it back up. Let me pull this up. So I was having rough feeding issues where the gun just felt like it was like shooting a freaking shovel, man. It's just like cut chunk. It was just sluggish. And well, it turns out it's the freaking extractor had this giant burr like right here. And it was like a giant steel icicle hanging off of the what you call it, extractor. Anyway, so I had to profile that. I think I got another picture. Yeah, so this bottom corner right here, basically I just rounded that off like that, and feeds really smooth. And then I went to the range and tested it out, and my extraction got so bad. The extraction was like, because that gun already kind of threw brass everywhere, but it was always like up and to the right. It had a very wide cone, but it was always that direction. After I did this extractor work, now it was hitting me right in the freaking bridge of the nose and left. I picked up like 10 casings that were like 6 to 10 foot to the left of me. I don't know how that's even possible. So anyway, tuned the extractor, and it came out really good. I put some videos on like YouTube Shorts and Instagram, and I think I have that video here. Well, I thought I did. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Yeah, either way, it's extracting really nicely. It's not perfect. I have like maybe like 3 out of like however many rounds I shot, maybe like 80 rounds, where it would like kind of hit me on the shoulder, kind of, or maybe just like fall out, but the majority were really nice. Matt says, love my old music like I love my old guns. I'm with you. I like all types of music, man. People say that, but I really do like a lot of different types of music. Um, yeah, I mean, I listen to like bluegrass. Um, man, what's some old stuff? Like, I've got some nice vinyl records of like B.B. King. Shoot, who's the guy who played Mr. Sandman? I should know this. I've got one of his early records. I got a bunch of records from the 40 Doris Day. I've got an old record of hers. Dream a Little Dream. If you can't get into that song, we just can't be friends. Yeah. Big Truck ran just over 100 JHPs through my new SIG 1911 today. Love it. That is awesome. SIG makes a good 1911, man. Ian, the SA35 doesn't have the mag disconnect, which I like. I agree. It also has a really nice cheap garbage extractor, which is just excellent. Love it. Yeah, Sparky, I hear you. He said, I haven't played guitar since high school. Would love to get back into it, but just can't afford another Vice right now. Telling you what, bro. I stopped buying guitars. I'm kind of done because I know what I like. I've got my humbucker guitar, which is my 594. I've got my Silver Sky, which is like my Strat. And then I've got a D18, D28, and then this guy that you can see there. It's a 00015M from Martin. That kind of covers all the bases for me. So, but yeah, I can't keep buying guitars. If you think guns are expensive, holy Lord. I mean, yeah. Guitars and amps, holy crap, amps. So expensive. Which is why I love the Helix. Man, you just, like when I play at church, XLR straight into the house, I push a button that I have preset, cab emulation, happy days. I got a wedge right in front of me so I can move air, and it's fantastic. It's great. And they don't sound fuzzy and digital like the old days, man. They actually sound really good. Really good. Yeah, Santana. That was the first PRS I ever owned. It was his model. The PRS Santana SE. So let's see here. See what other pictures I got from this weekend. So I did shoot my lever action again this weekend. The 1892. Yeah. I love playing Tool, Rage Against the Machine, and Metallica, and some Ozzy. All great. All great. Yeah, crack. Yeah, my parents funded my stuff early on, too, but eventually they were like, all right, it's enough. It's like, and I spent all my money on guitars, man. Let me pull up. Let's see. So this was interesting. Well, no, I'll save that for the video. Let's see if there's more stuff. Had a great time shooting the M1 carbine. I brought that out just because, like, I wanted to shoot it, and had a great time with that, man. Let me see here. Let me see here. Nope. Here we go. Just love this gun, man. It's like just if you just want to go out and like just have fun, just shoot. Like you're not trying to train and you're not trying to do anything. You just want to shoot. There are few guns that are more fun and just simple and light and just they're great, man. I just love my M1 carbine. I'm so glad I bought it. Yeah, that's you guys saying don't shoot. He's like, don't shoot the truck. That's not even the sketchiest shooting position I've ever done with that truck. But I'm careful. I love my truck, by the way. That's a 2000 F250 with a proper V8. Yeah. Here we go. This is all raw footage. There we go. The jams on this gun are so hilarious. They're just so spectacular. This particular magazine needs a new magazine spring. I was starting to get a lot of failures with it. Yeah. It is fun. Oh, here's another one. Another jam-tastic moment. Yoink. It's just failing to extract, or it extracts weak. Yeah, that time that was a weird one. The charging handle got stuck. And so little hip thump maneuver seemed to work pretty well. So this is like 35, 40 yards. No, 35, I'd say. This particular property, I can shoot at about 120 yards. And I plan on doing that. That's another video I want to do. Another failure. Whee! Good fun. Yes, Matt, you are... We have the same brain. The single cab, it's got the bench seat. It's just a good... The only thing I wish was different about it was I wish that it was manual transmission and a mechanical four-wheel drive. That would be perfect. See you, Crack. Appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, we'll wrap ours up here pretty shortly, too. Yeah, the paratrooper, Ian. Yes, the paratrooper is... Yes, I want one of those. Aman said, "Hi, I'm a new 1911 owner and loving the journey so far. Can I post a video on how to change the springs?" Yeah, so if you go look up in my videos, I have a full disassembly and reassembly video. That'll pretty much cover it. It doesn't focus on springs specifically, but throughout the full disassembly process, you're going to remove the springs and then you can put in the new ones. So that's the best way to go. Donald, truck bed looks like a proper bench rest to me. That's right. So what I've done for a lot of years now, so it's got the 8-foot bed in my truck, and sometimes you go to some places where you're going to shoot, and like here in Florida, we just have fire ants like every 20 inches. They're just everywhere, and so you can't just like lay in the grass. It's a nightmare. So that's what I do. I will just lay in the bed of my truck and point the bed of the truck where I'm going to shoot, and there you go. Ian, I drive a Ford Ranger 5-speed. Yes. I have owned 2 Rangers. I love Rangers. I love them. So my first vehicle I got when I started driving was a 96 manual transmission 5-speed Ford Ranger. And I beat the brakes off that truck, man. It had like 380,000 miles on it. And the guy that we gave it to drove it away. It was still running. I think all we ever did was change like a clutch and a fuel pump. Nuts, man. I love those trucks. The old ones. They're great. Yes. DB, you're in Florida, right? Yeah, I miss my Ranger, man. I own 2 of them. I had my Ranger when I first turned 16. My dad gave me, it was his truck. He just gave it to me. And then when me and my wife first got married, I needed a new vehicle. And so I went to this used car lot and I got a 2003 automatic with the V6, the real small 3-liter, I think, the V6. And I got it for $7,000 with 60,000 miles on it. The good old days. And I loved it. Unfortunately, I traded it for a car, like a retard, but yeah. Love the Rangers, man. I'd buy another one, but my truck is so good. I love that F-250 because it's a proper truck. It's got the 8-foot bed. It's got a tow capacity of somewhere between 12 and 14,000 pounds, although it's not really because the tongue weight messes that up. So, but anyway, it'll haul a good bit. It's a 3/4 ton. And I've done it. I have hauled a 9,000 pound trailer with that. It did it. It didn't like it, but it did it. But yeah, it's got the big fat 10.5 inch, I think it is, rear diff, big old pumpkin thing. It's got the Windsor 5.4 Triton, but it's the 2-valve, not the 3-valve pieces of crap. I had one of those. Blew spark plugs like crazy. It's got the old Windsor, Canada built 2-valve 5.4 Triton. It just sounds, it sounds so good, man, and it's just a good truck. So basically, I got it with 90,000 miles on it. It was at a dealership. Some old dude just brought it in and traded it for something new. And this particular dealership was offering the Ford Forever warranty. And if the vehicle was certified pre-owned and under 100,000 miles, it gets the full lifetime warranty, which means engine, transmission, diff, the whole drivetrain is warranted for life as long as you change the oil at regular intervals and report it. And so I got that truck, 2000 F-250 with 90,000 miles on it. Thing purrs. Mint condition, by the way. It's beautiful. Few tiny little scratches on it, no dents. The maintenance record from the guy is like massive. Belts, plugs, oil, everything's been maintained to a T. And yeah, I got it for like 14 grand. Just with a full boat warranty for its whole life. So I love that truck, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a sweet truck. Real basic. You know, it has the old AM FM radio. No, not even a tape player in there. It's got AC and cruise control. That's it. Manual windows, manual mirrors. There's nothing, whatever. It's very old school. It's a basic fleet truck, basically. Bench seat. Vinyl floor. It's fantastic. Fantastic. And a proper V8. Not one of these freaking... I'm not going to say it. Somebody I know in here probably owns a what I'm going to criticize. So yeah, DB, you know about the fire ants situation. You literally cannot go outside and just like I remember going to upstate New York years ago, and you can just like lay in the grass, and there's no bugs. It's crazy, dude. Yeah, Donald, that I love my truck, man. It's I've gone through a lot of vehicle troubles. I love Toyota. I'm a Toyota guy, big time. I really, really love Toyota because I do most of the work on my vehicles, and they're just so simple to work on. I've got a Sequoia, but I've had 4Runners, all sorts of them, and they're great. Especially that Sequoia. That's a monster. Mine's got the off-road package, so it is like 6,200 pounds of hatred. It's awesome. But yeah, this truck it's just a dream come true. It's in such good shape, and it's a cruiser. It's nice. Yeah, Chris, that's exactly how I feel. I will not buy a new vehicle ever again. Ever. Ever. In fact, if this truck ceases to exist for whatever reason, my next truck will be a 1972 F-250 Highboy with mechanical 4x4. And yeah. If my Sequoia dies, my new family vehicle will probably be like a late 80s, early 90s Suburban K Series. 4-wheel drive, old school. They work, man. Donald, my father-in-law has a first-gen Tundra with only 80,000. Wow, that's awesome. He needs to hold on to that. What does it have? The 5VZ in it? The engine? It's the tiny little V6. So I bought one of those a couple of years ago, and I just flipped it. It had like 400,000 miles on it, but man, it ran great. I did a tune-up on it, and it was awesome. Manual transmission, fantastic vehicle. They're so easy to work on, man. Oh, Matt, there you go, bro. '07 Toyota. Yes, dude. Yes. Does it have the 1GR FE engine in it? Is it the V6? Chris Mead, we don't have fire ants in Connecticut, but we have rust on our truck frames. Good point. Good point. That is a thing, isn't it? It's the smaller V8. Okay, so that's the... I don't remember that one. Yeah, either way, they're fantastic. Yeah, can we just talk trucks for a minute before we wrap it up? We already are, but... We got to just look at some trucks for a second. I'm going to show you guys my dream. This is like my... I can curl up and die if I got one of these. There it is. Son. Get you some of that right there. I mean, does it get any better than that right there? That's it. That's peak manhood. That's all we have ever wanted. That's it. Yes. And I mean, like, the freaking the winch, the wheels, the white wheels, and the thinner tires. I don't like the big thick like gangster tires. Mechanical 4x4, baby blue, 72. Get some, boy. Oh, it's just perfect. It's perfect. The mirrors, chrome trim, just magnificent. Yep. There's been a couple pop up near me, and oh boy, I want to do it. But here's what's crazy. The reason that I would get one of these nowadays instead of buying a new vehicle is, what am I going to spend on a new vehicle? Freaking $90,000? No, I'm not doing that. Whereas you can get like a fully restored classic truck for like 25 grand. They're now the cheap option. So in these things, yeah, you got to clean out a carb every once in a while. Well, any dude with a lawnmower knows how to do that, right? That doesn't bother me one bit. But that's the dream right there, bro. 8-foot bed, all of it. Yeah, I wouldn't do the fuel injection upgrade, Chris. I'd keep it carbed. You know, I just think they're great. And you can literally, here's what's crazy. You can spend $500 on spare parts for that truck, and you're good for the rest of your life. Like, all the parts are so readily available. They're easy to work on. You can climb in the engine compartment and work on the truck. You know? Like, everything for those is so available, so affordable. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you, man, the cash for clunkers thing is the biggest travesty. One of the biggest travesties that's ever been done to America. More classic vehicles were destroyed in that retarded program than anything. Yeah, Matt, you're right. They're going up in price, but they're still cheaper. Like maybe not a fully restored, but like a functional. Like if you spent 10 grand on a classic truck, $10,000, and maybe you got to do like some bearings, you got to maybe put some new brakes on it, you got to do some spark work, whatever. Like, you're still a fraction of the price in versus a new vehicle. And you can keep some basic tools under your seat and pretty much keep the thing running indefinitely, man. They're just fantastic. I mean, look at this one. Somebody slap me. That is just so gorgeous. Anyway, love them, man. That's the dream. That's right, DB. Cash for Clunkers is the police buyback version. Yeah, they just did it because they don't want vehicles on the road that they can't disable with the click of a mouse. That's really it. Let's see. Yeah, it's hard to hate on these two, man. K-Series from the 80s. These K-Series Chevys. Come on, man. How can you not like that? That's just amazing. Dean's Oil, 1975, 396. Man, high five to you. That is an excellent truck right there. Yeah, Chris. It's makes me sick how many good trucks are now just debris in some landfill. It's terrible. And listen, I know you guys agree with this. If Ford and Chevy said, hey, we're going to start making just legit, part for part, identical to the old school trucks, 70s trucks, carbureted everything, and we're going to sell them for $25,000. They couldn't make them fast enough. Yeah. Anyway. Well, look, my friends, it's been a great stream. I really, really appreciate you guys being here. And we'll do it again soon. And just so you guys know, next stream we're gonna have somebody on. I'm not sure if it's gonna be Baron or if it's gonna be some Patreon dudes, but there'll be somebody else here with me. So looking forward to that. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys chatting. It's always fun. Really thank you guys for helping me make this channel what it is, and appreciate you guys very much. Till next time, my friends, I will see you.